Hello, good Woch. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful week. Without Hashem is going to be Shavuos. We're going to receive the Torah. Tremendous. Before I go into the Ma'aseh of the Baal Shem Tov, I saw something fascinating regarding this week's Parsha, Parshas Bamidbar, in the desert. It also speaks about it. Everybody speaks about where Midbar Matona, the Torah was given Dafka in the Midbar in the desert, that the desert is basically Hefker. It's unclaimed. It's open for anyone and everyone, to take over it, to control it, to trample it. There's nothing there. Nobody lives there, nothing lives there. And Rosen speaks about this, that it's more when we're saying that Midbar Matona, that the Torah was giving in a Midbar, that the Midbar is like, it's like a barren place and it's open for everybody to seize it. So obviously everybody knows the parable that he's using, the Torah is out there, it's waiting for anybody to take it over and so forth and so on. But Nosson brings about, the concept that the world before the Torah was a midbar. The world was a desert. It was a free-for-all. It's available for everyone, susceptible to anyone. And he says this is not just, before the Torah B'chlal was given, but even now, when a person who lives without Torah, chooses to live without Torah, decides to live unencumbered. He says, listen, he wants to have a good life, he wants to have a good time, and this is open. That a person that does that, a person that chooses to live outside the realm of Torah, is basically making himself hefker, is making himself open to be taken over by the koiches of the Sitra Achron. Because you have to understand that each and every one of us is protected. When we live b'derech HaTorah, because Baruch Hu watches over each and every one of us. There's a shkoch on the Shemayim. But when a person decides to live outside the realm of Torah, he becomes open. He becomes like a midbar. That any force in this world can overtake him. And the thing is that Nosson says that it's like people that stay away from Torah because they would like to enjoy the delicacies of this world. He says, first of all, it's not possible because there is no such life that having a good life, a good time in this world without Torah. The luckiest person on earth, the wealthiest person on earth, everyone's, anybody that has the best life that you can think of, his or her life are fraught with pain, with affliction, with stumbling blocks. And ultimately, it's a very short journey. 120 years, whatever it is, it's gone in the blink of an eye. And then you have a stretch forever, and everything that the person does, then becomes evident, becomes it becomes the reality where the neshama lives with. Rabbeinu says that a thought is an incredible thing. When a person is thinking a thought, we're not just talking about bad ones, talking about good ones as well. The thought, when you're sitting there and you're thinking, you're having a thought in your mind, and you're going over it, and you're thinking it, you are actually creating a spiritual structure, spiritual reality, that will remain forever. It's not going to go away. It doesn't fade like a thought inside a person's head. Now I'm thinking, and then it's gone. I'm not thinking it anymore. Once a person thinks a thought, that's it. It's a reality. Is how much a person needs to be careful not to entertain bad thoughts in his head. It's a very strong temptation. People fall into it, many times. But the thing is to remember, because even when a person thinks these thoughts, he becomes hefker. Person speaks whatever he wants to say. He becomes hefker. Person becomes angry, specifically angry. That says, kol minei gehenim sholtim beh. All kinds of gehenim take over him. He is stripping his tzelem Elokim. Shem Yirachim. Take it to somebody who's been there, done that. Okay. Shem Yazor receiving the Torah, we're not going to be hefker anymore, B'ezrat Hashem. Soon. Okay, this is the story, the Baal Shem HaKodesh, story of the wine. Baal Shem Tov was asked that he should be brought a very specific kosher and Mehudadika wine from from Bessarabia. It's and in everything that Baal Shem Tov did, this one as well, he obviously had his own reasons. And the shlichus was given to Dova Mikalaya, one of his big talmidim, and he took himself this job, with awe, with chilu, rechima. He went to the Sarabia to Mekayim, what his Rebbe said, and for once he stood there and he was mashgiach every single detail of the wine, and keeping it. It's going to be drunk with Baal Shem Tov, it's Hashem. Buying of the grapes, getting the grapes to be stamped on, and wherever he went, everything, every single step of the way was done, bashgacha through El Chiyidin. When the wine is already, it became wine, and it was clear, and it was kosher, it went into a barrel, and Rav David went, to keep this wine every step of the way to be totally kosher, totally mehuder, 100% within any weeks and weeks and weeks. When the day came to bring the barrel to Mezhibush, he was there. Okay, now this is the very end, and it was winter, in Ukraine, and snow and raining, and how things were. And he went, and every step of the way made sure that no matter what, he always kept, with the wine. At the end, Baruch Hashem, the wagon and the barrel got to Mezhibush. Baruch Hashem, he thanked HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he was successful. Then something happened. A soldier, big soldier on a horse, came over. He stopped away and says, "You're not going through." And he says, "Open up the barrel for inspection." the ruler of the region is not allowed to bring any whiskey, any spirits from different places. Open up the barrel to be checked. So he says, so David became very scared. He says, "Don't touch the barrel. There's no whiskeys. It's just wine from a Rebbe." And so just, would not listen. He wanted to check it by himself. He jumped off the horse, opened up the cover of the barrel, looked at the wine, dunked his finger in the wine, tasted it. Yep, you're right. This is pure wine. No problem. You're free to go. Free to go with what? The whole wine becomes unkosher. All those months and time that he put into producing the wine and watching the wine, supervising every single one, everything in vain. When he saw the Baal Shem Tov, he started crying, and he said how much he worked, how much, months and months and months, and just, a few more minutes with him by you. Why did it happen to me? So Baal Shem Tov calmed him down. He said, "You should know, my dear students, you have worked, you toiled. This is the end of the road. You did everything above your koiches. You did more than you could. It's just one little thing that you forgot. You didn't daven to Kadosh Baruch Hu to be matzliach your way. You didn't ask Kadosh Baruch Hu to guard you from failing from beginning to the end. David Melech said already, Im Hashem lo yishmor ir, Kadosh Baruch Hu doesn't guard a town. Shav shekat shemer. Anybody who guards the town his guarding is in vain, as we saw October 7th. If Hashem lo yishmor ir, you can have the best armies in the world, you can have the best intelligence in the world, you can have the best of anything, but nothing will come out of it. This is also the end of Hefker. When a person is not connected to the Kodesh Baruch Hu, a person is Hefker. It's such an important thing for a person. I keep on saying it again and again, and I myself don't really listen to it. The only chance I have is just to keep on repeating it until finally I get through my head. They say, Chofetz Chaim used to say that they invented the technology to hear what a person from one end of the world is saying. Is able to be heard on the person on the other end of the world. He says, but they have not yet haven't invented yet the kind of technology that will make a person hear what he himself is saying. So what it is that I'm trying to say is that it is an immense and awesome habit for a person to ask HaKadosh Baruch Hu all the time for everything. You're going to the bus stop, help me get to the bus stop. Please. Help me to the bus should come. Please help me to take the bus, go home, get home on time. At tefillah, for everything. You're plugging up your phone. Please help, me recharge my phone. You want to sit to eat, please give me the food. As you're doing it, you will, in the beginning, you'll feel like two things. First of all, like, what is this? And secondly, it seems that whatever tefillah that you're davening, whatever it is that you're saying, it's so flat, it's like there's no ergasha in it, there's no gefiel, it's okay. You don't need gefiel, you don't need to tear up the heavens. You're saying it the way that you're saying it with feeling, without feeling, with geschmack, without, it doesn't matter. Just ask Ribono Shel Olam, please help me do this. Please help me do this. And the reason why this is so important is way beyond anything that you can imagine. I started by saying that a thought, the Rebbe said that a thought is a meridic inyan, that it's something that remains forever. How much more so a word, a tefillah that you say, that you ask for everything. Now, I wouldn't have anything. Let's say if you manage to do it 10% of the things you do in the day, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. But the main mila of this is the inyan that the Gashmis, whatever it is that you need the food. Sometimes the food is right there in front of you. So it seems like, what's the difference? The food is here, you're asking for the food, and then you're eating the food. So what have you done? What you have done is you took physical food and you made it divine. It looks like the same food. It sounds like the same food. It walks like the same food, but it's not the same food. It's not the same food. It's a different food altogether. We saw it from a story that I say many times I've said many times about Shmuel Hanavi, that before he was born, his mother died from a whole Maisa, Elia Cohen, that thought that she was drunk, and he scolded her. So she told him, no, I'm not drunk, I'm just, upset, whatever, the whole story. And so Elia Cohen said, okay, because Baruch Hu is going to give you that which you wish for. She was barren. And sure enough, she gave birth. A child was Shmuel Hanavi, the prophet Shmuel. When she brought him to the Mishkan, and there were a lot of people, who made Aliyah L'Regel, and there were not enough koyanim to shecht all the karbanos. Enough karbanim, koyanim to throw the blood of the shlomim on the mizbech, because all you need is just one spritz. It's nothing really elaborate. The shlomim is just one spritz. I think so. The shlomim is one spritz. Or the Torah is one spritz. I'm not sure. Either Shtaim Shana Abba one spritz. I don't remember. Anyhow, there were not enough kohanim to do shechita. So Shmuel, obviously Shmuel Hanavi, the Parshadi, and he said, so alocha shechita ksher b'zah. Don't need a kohen to shecht. You can use somebody else. Eli Kohen was Sadiq Hador. He says, you're right, but you are constitute a more alocha b'fnei rabba. You pass in alocha in front of your Rav, the Sadiq Hador. Anybody who does that is chayav misa v'dei shamayim. So he told Shmuel's mother, don't worry about it. I will grant you a better child than Shmuel Hanavi, who's comparable to Moshe and Aaron combined. We're going to give a better child. So she told, when she produced, she said that the Tanakh says, Elanar Azeis Palalti. I davened for this boy. So when you read the text, it seems like she's coming and says, who this boy? That's the boy that I davened for. But really what was going on, Shmuel's mother told Eliakim, maybe you can give me a child who is better than this child. But what you can't give me, I davened for this child. I asked for this child. This you cannot give me. You cannot give me a child that was prayed for. A gedavened child, this you can't give me. So this is the Indian. If you are able to bring yourself to daven for everything, to ask Hashem for everything, you're going to take the bus. You're going to show them, help me, so the bus should take you to get to this place. You're going to tell the please give me my sustenance. gonna dress, help me get dressed. The more, the more the more you zoom in, the smaller the target gets, the more divine you make every single minute of your life. Your entire life becomes for this reality. I daven for this reality. I ask for that. It's not just because, look, everybody can share the same reality. A Yid, a Goy, Tzaddikim, a Shoim, everybody can have the same thing. But when you daven for something, you can eat something and he can eat the same thing, and you're eating pure godliness and he's eating gashmis. You're eating your way into Gan Eden, and he's eating his way, Shem Yirachem Torah. Hefker. The midbar is Hefker. When you accept Torah and feel upon yourself, you turn the midbar into a fertile land. Okay, so B'ezrat Hashem, let's take a quick look at the Sicha for tonight. So, let's see. Here we go. The Rebbe is doing a zoom in to the world. Sicha 245. Reish Mem He. Siper Imi, Rabbeinu spoke to me the Indian of Chidush Torah. Misha Zoicha L'Chadish as a Dova B'Torah. Anybody who's Zoicha to say it's some kind of is being a Chidush in the Torah. Rabbeinu says, "V'lo Teima V'Chidush." Rabbeinu was amazed. Where do you take the Chidush from? Because in truth, Ve'emes, in the Chidushim, anybody who's Zoicha to Mechadish, the very fact that it's able to be Mechadish is a Dova Nifla Me'ud. It's a very concealed thing. It's a deep, deep mystery. Where is this Chidush coming from? And what was understood from his words, that the fact that the person is Zocher to be Mechadish, you actually see a revelation of Hashem godliness. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is creating something from nothing to something. In the beginning, you didn't have this Chidush, and now you do. You're taking something, you're thinking, you are actually drawing from the very source of the Chokhmah, which is Pchinas Ayin, which is a nothingness, Keviyochel. In other words, from Ein Sof, from infinity. You can see, Rabbeinu says, B'eina Asecha, with your own eyes, you can see a revelation of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, from nothing to something. So, and I said that we can see that sometimes. I'm working very, very hard until I can bring up like one word of Chidush. Even though, the heart can open up and tremendous Chidushim can come out, but even one word, because she can come out, Rabbeinu says this is also a great wonder, a great mystery. How, even would you just like squeeze out one single dibur, but Doicha Godel, this is also the wonders of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Where do you take this dibur from? And really, anybody who has a heart to understand can see from this the realness, the truthfulness, the veracity of the mitzvahs of Kadosh Baruch Hu, ayin be'ayin. You can see it b'chosh. He says, not only somebody who's Zocher Mechadish himself, bevada you can see and understand the revelation of the Kadosh Baruch Hu, but even somebody who is not like that, he's not worthy of that. But he's just looking in Sfarim. You see tremendous Chidush Torah that in Sfarim. Where did it come from? It says, Eidus Hashem Ne'emona Labizbar. It says, Eidus Hashem Ne'emona. What does it mean? It says, Eidus Hashem is Ne'emona, is faithful. It testifies to the Metzias HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Eidus Hashem Ne'emona. Take a look in Likut Halachos. It says, Ilchos Eidus, Ilchos Pesach, Halachates, and so forth, and so on. B'ezrat Hashem, we will have Shavuos in a couple of days. And Shavuos is called a lot of different things, It's a wedding, it's a, it's a bris, it's a tremendous revelation. And as we like Simchas Torah, we're saying that Eidus Hashem Ne'emana is what we said. The Eidus Hashem, the Torah, is a faithful testimony, the mitzvahs of Kodesh Baruch Hu. Without it, people who live outside of the Eidus Hashem, they have no idea about Kodesh Baruch Hu, the emes of Kodesh Baruch Hu, the emes of living with the Kodesh Baruch Hu. It's amazing. I remember myself, before getting to Yiddishkeit, when you're standing on the outside, there's no way that you can imagine what it's like inside. I remember the first time that it ever actually, I remember I was sitting there in Tel Aviv, and I learned, somebody taught me the Tanya. And I remember that we're learning Tanya, and when I heard what was given, what was said to me, and I was totally blown away. It's not just that I was shocked by the content of the Tanya itself, obviously, but I have never even imagined that there is such a wisdom in existence, that level of wisdom even existed. I have no words to put the shock, the pure shock that I went into by discovering that there is Chochmas HaTorah. It blew my mind. And you can talk to anybody who is far from Torah until you're blue in the face. Unless they're open to discover the Eidus Hashem, the Bechira is totally free. People will do and will accept whatever, they'll see whatever it is they want to see. To see what the Torah is, to see the godliness of HaKadosh Baruch Hu with the Torah, through the Torah, you have to choose to see it. Before you see it, it's like a blind person who is giving his opinion on an exquisite work of art. Not only that he doesn't know what the heck he's talking about, he doesn't even know that a piece of art can exist. He can hear about it, he can hear people talking about it, describing whatever it is, but he has no idea what it is. Same thing is with the Torah. And the thing is that the same thing happens every year. Every year you get another level of seeing the Eidus Hashem Ne'emana, the testimony for the mamoshes of Kodesh Baruch Hu. I mean, Baruch Hashem, we all believe in Kodesh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hashem, well, Shem Torah mitzvahs. But it's something that, it's like Rabbeinu says, it's like a person that has gone through an eye surgery and his eyes are wrapped up. Before they actually can open up his eyes so you can take a look at the world, they have to take the wrapping slowly, one after another, so that the light is not going to hurt his eyes. Every single year, Matan Torah, another gauze is unwrapped from our eyes, and we get a chance to see the emes of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the mita of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the realness, the truth the veracity, ein be'ein, every year more and more, if you want to. You don't want to, okay, Shavuos like any other Shavuos. Been there, done that. But if you know what we spoke about today, and you ask, it seems like, what do I have to do? I mean, Shavuos is such a humongous thing, such a huge thing. How on earth am I ever going to be like, people see curls. I don't know what people see. I know that I'm me. I don't even know, why Kadosh Baruch Hu wants me, to marry him. Who am I? I'm not worthy of it. Just a boring person. You have, 49 days of Sfis HaOmer, 49 days. Every single, there was a routine. There were good days, bad days. I looked at myself a day that I was just bored. I just waited until, let the 49 days already finish. And I'll get into it, outwardly, of course. I was like, but Tachlis, days like this and days like that, and the whole thing is gnawed, it's person's being gnawed by this doubt. Me? I know what I've done. I want this. Baruch Hu wants me just the way I am. The Matan Torah is a wedding. You can see my son behind me. His daughter, Baruch Hashem, became a Kala. I'm telling you now, she's a Kala, and everybody's happy. They give her gifts, and the Chosin, Baruch Hashem, everybody's happy. They give her gifts. I tell you, between you and me, both the Chosin and the Kala are riddled with doubts. Why would he want me? Why would she want me? I'm so not special. I'm so like nothing to write home about. They both think that. They don't say it to one another. They get married, B'ezrat Hashem, great fanfare and the whole thing. B'ezrat Hashem, they'll become good friends, hopefully. They'll speak to one another. And then, my granddaughter, B'ezrat Hashem, will say to her husband, before the wedding, I was like, will he really want me? Does he really want me? Why would he want me? Why would he love me? And her husband, B'ezrat Hashem, in the time of closeness of the heart, he'll tell you, something? I thought about exactly the same thing. I said, once she gets to know me, she'll probably say, I didn't mean that. And then they'll really be married. They realize is that when you get married, they'll get married to the nice picture, the ultimate picture of what the Kala can be, what the Chosin can be. They're also marrying the part of the humdrum, routine, nothing special, with all kinds of quirks, warts and all, of a Chosin and Kala. It's part. This is who they're getting. It's only when they touch that part, they're actually, fully married. They're becoming one. When they're opening up the vulnerabilities, the weaknesses, this is what Matan Torah is about. We don't have to come to Shavuos perfect, the best version of us. We come the way we are, with the vulnerabilities. Baruch Hu comes and tells you, I want you. The only thing you need to do, just ask. Ask Baruch Hu to receive the Torah, new knowledge of the emes of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. At Hashem, v'zeicha v'zat Hashem b'chag, kosher v'sameach, Matan Torah, Hashem is open to Geula Shlemo, v'vias Mashiach tzedkenu, b'kor b'yameinu mamash v'zat Hashem. Kol tov.
Amen. Amen.
That's all.